right, so we did our little fake roll call there. Okay, second on our agenda today is an update from Chris Gomez, Director of the Elder Affairs.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning, Chris.
So, we have a lot of things upcoming next month. A lot of exciting stuff, and just kind of want to give an update on what we're doing. We've been open since May now. Our numbers, they've been going up every month, our attendance. Right now we're averaging anywhere between 60 to like 80 people almost every day. And everything is going really well. The food is being served every day. We're serving breakfast every day as well. And, we're happy to be here with our own place and serving the community. So today's actually the last day for sign-ups for the Topsfield Fair. So if you guys know anyone that's still interested, make sure they please come in and sign up. Topsfield Fair will be October 3rd will be the trip. We'll be leaving here at 9:30. And the senior center will be closed that day because we have a lot of people signed up already. So all the staff will be going with the seniors.
What day is that, Chris?
October 3rd.
Monday.
Yeah, so today's the last day to sign up.
Chris, can I ask you something regarding that? How's everyone getting there? Did you have to rent a bus?
We'll use our transportation and we'll rent a bus.
Okay. No problem, thank you.
You're welcome. So we have our phone lines are in now as well. We're actually getting our fax machine installed today as well.
Whoa.
So
Getting high class.
And today we'll have our last training for the newsletter as well. So our newsletter will begin in November. So today you have to do like a whole bunch of trainings. Today will be our last training on the newsletter, which will be going out in November. And we'll have our calendar of monthly events will be on the newsletter going forward. So I know some people had asked about that. And we'll be having that on that as well. And this month for October, we already made a calendar for the whole month. So in regards to the calendar, like we booked a lot of artists for October as well. And then after we make the calendar, sometimes they cancel, which kind of makes it hard for us sometimes to do it a month in advance because then people cancel on us and we have to like reach out and tell them, the calendar is not that accurate. But we will be having it going forward. We had a presentation yesterday on the new workshops that we're going to offer here on diabetes and a matter of balance. There were supposed to be one workshop each, but we had so many people sign up. We're going to have to do 2 classes simultaneously. I think these classes will be a great help. One's on diabetes, on how to deal with it on a day-to-day basis, and how to kind of, keep your sugar levels low. And there's different experts that come in, doctors, nurses, and just the lady herself that gives it. She had diabetes, and through her diet and exercise, she no longer has it. Yes. So, and then the other one is a matter of balance, which is a workshop on teaching seniors how to keep their balance and do exercises to kind of strengthen themselves and have more of a balance. One workshop lasts 6 weeks, and then the other one's 8 weeks, and you get a diploma at the end of it. So for Thanksgiving party, we'll have like a big graduation, and we'll present the diplomas. And our very own Diana and Mayor Nicholson will be, Councilwoman Chakutis and Mayor Nicholson they'll be presenting our diplomas at our Thanksgiving Day party. So we're really excited about that. Next week, we'll have bingo with Councilor Coco. Yeah, he's going to sponsor the bingo and call the bingo for us, followed by a ukulele concert with Ward 3 and friends.
Oh, nice.
Yes. I know a lot of seniors had asked about art classes as well. So for next month, we have 3 art classes scheduled. October 6th, we'll have a string art class starting at 10 a.m. And October 11th, we'll have a rock Mandela art class as well, which is like they give you like a statue type thing, and you put different rocks on it, and you make like a nice little sculpture. And then October 20th, we'll have an acrylic painting class taught by Karen Takis. She's a well-renowned artist and teacher. So yeah, if people want to sign up, call the senior center or come in and we'll take sign-ups. The space size is limited, so it'll be on a first come first served basis. And we'll also be going to this Brooksby Farm next month on October 12th. So all the seniors interested as well can come on down.
You doing apple picking?
Yes, apple picking. And we have our monthly casino trip also, October 20th, for those of you that want to sign up as well. And on October 18th, the public health nurses will be conducting a flu vaccine clinic here. We'll have both the high dose and the low dose. So whatever.
Another new dose of the virus shot?
The COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, we plan on doing another vaccine
I wanna
clinic
get
as
both
well.
of them.
Yeah, we did one here last month. Yeah, we had about
I
10 to
just came home
20.
from the hospital, that's why.
Yeah. Then we have the Lynn Police Bike Unit. We'll host a bingo as well on October 19th. And I know some months ago I had gone to UMass Lowell and we did an event. Well, it was like a competition. We came in third place, It was based on an idea of us teaching the seniors how to use computers and stuff. So they like the idea so much, they want to pick it up like statewide. And the Lynn Senior Center will be the pilot site. So starting within the next couple months, we're gonna start programming where we're gonna have we can do classes of 10 to 15 people, and we'll take the seniors and we'll teach you how to get your emails, how to use different applications, how to go on Zoom. And with the computers that you actually use, after you complete your 15 hours, you'll be able to keep these computers. And then we'll also give you a free year of internet. So this is in collaboration with ECCF and Tech Goes Home. And we're going to try to do this as much as we can. So we're going to try to do it on a continual basis. And it'll also be first come, first serve. But I think it'll be a great thing for a lot of our seniors.
Can you repeat the sign up information for that?
So you can just reach out to me or any of my staff for that. We're waiting to get the final details, but yeah, so the computers will be here. There'll be Chromebooks. Chromebooks is essentially a wireless PC. So you'll take your classes on that Chromebook, and then at the culmination, when you finish your 15 hours, you take it home and you'll get a free year of internet, or you can get a hotspot.
I do just want to say with that, I want to thank Chris. Chris worked really hard on this. He had to do a presentation, and with that, he basically won, and they're going to use the Lynn Senior Center. But Chris did a lot of work on this, so he really needs it. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be having any of this right now.
And thank you so much, Councilwoman. And we also hope to incorporate the kids into this eventually. So we're reaching out to the high schools to get the high school, like junior and senior kids to help with this. And I think it'll be great intergenerational programming for our seniors. As well as Harrington across the street, we hope to do a bunch of stuff as well. So we're also, October 7th, we're having a big celebration to celebrate Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month. So I hope to see everyone here. We're going to have a live band. We're going to have dancers from different cultures in Latin America. They're going to be representing, and food from all the different Latin American countries.
What date is it?
October 7th. And we hope to have a dance competition for you seniors. And we'll have a prize.
Not you?
Huh?
Not you?
No, not me. But I'll dance too.
Are you ready, Ben? I'll dance.
Betty will dance, I know it.
You got moves.
And so we've begun interviews for our kitchen coordinator position as well. So we have one more interview on Friday, and hopefully we'll be able to get the kitchen coordinator on board soon. And
How many applied?
we had 9 applications. I've interviewed 3 already. We have one more on Friday. That's pretty much all on my end. Any questions?
Yeah. The trip to hospital, what are the requirements?
No, it's $10. That will cover your transportation and your entrance to the fair.
What information do you, at the time of sign in?
No, you just sign up. We'll just take your phone number in case when we get there, it's time to leave to call you. Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Any other questions for Chris? No? Well, thank you, Chris. You've been very busy with all this.
Thank you.
All right, so next on the agenda we have this, I'm gonna give this question to Attorney Lamanna. How long will Element Care occupy the second floor and when does the lease expire?
Part of the global settlement of the compensation we paid to Element Care at the time of the eminent domain taking contemplated that they would be ready to move up to Linfield Street, the former Union Hospital site, approximately 1 year from the taking. So I did speak with Mike Donovan, Chief of Inspectional Services, before I came here today. They have pulled a building permit. They are not behind, they're not ahead. Certainly, the weather in the winter will impact the construction schedule. Any supply chain issues could be an issue. The fact that the building permit's been pulled, they have 6 months to activate it. So Mike is still optimistic of an early spring where they would be vacating and moving forward. But there is no real trigger where if a date comes on the calendar that we could evict them. The plan was that we agreed upon a global settlement rather than going to court and having this tied up, where we paid X number of dollars for the property with it, in understanding that Element Care would need to be housed here until their site is completed. It's been a while since I've been at a Council on Aging meeting, so I don't know how much you folks are aware of what's going on in the background. I can share what Mike Donovan explained. The city has engaged the services of an architect to plan the post-Element Care vacating the property, and he's very eager to work with the Council on Aging and work with Chris. He indicated there's a definite intent that at least a portion of the second floor is going to be, if not all, is going to be part of the senior center. What he's looking for from the architect and working with you folks and Chris is to get a sense on what type of services long term do you want to have up there? Would it be a knitting room? Would it be a tax preparation room? Would it be a computer room? How often would there be an overlap? So some rooms could be larger, some rooms could be smaller if the number of programs that occur on the same number of days on the same day dictated a need for smaller individual rooms as opposed to larger rooms, and the like. There is a significant amount of work that's going to be needed in this building in order to make that work. But that city is committed financially in engaging that architect. That architect is on board and is looking for as much feedback as possible. I believe they may have looked at some other neighboring cities that may not be the same, and definitely not the same as Lynn from a demographic period. So you folks and the seniors that come here every day know what your needs and what your wants are. And communicating that with the architect, this is what we want. We feel by 2024, 2023, we're going to be offering these programs on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We think that our members could support at least twice a month this type of program, and we need approximately this many square footage. But we have, as I said, we have a professional architect that is on board now, waiting to work with you folks in order to build this out. I have been told that, and there are some ongoing issues with Element Care, that when I get back to my office, we're going to be dealing with, the city does not have any access to upstairs. That is for fire safety reasons, inspectional services at a minimum needs to have keys. We'll be working with that. I do believe that Element Care did allow our architects access at least to see what the upper floors are. I will be speaking to find out where the law firm is in their efforts. We know Element Care ultimately fully intends to go up to the Union Hospital, former Union Hospital site. I just want to make sure that the lawyers are cognizant of the fact that the ultimate goal here is to complete a build out as soon as possible, get this to be the best senior center that we can offer for the seniors, and get Element Care out as soon as possible. And it'd be much easier to relocate the lawyers, but they need to be looking themselves. But that is what I know. I do want to be honest that there is a possibility that the senior center may have to be relocated for a period of time during construction. That just for safety reasons, your folks wouldn't want to be breathing in with walls being cut down. So, and they've been a commitment to find a location that is suitable to make sure that no seniors are. And there's not going to be a closure. This is not a COVID closure situation. But from a safety and how much the mayor and the city council have committed to this build out, it really, unless we're going to do a poor job and not fully commit to maximize this space, it probably will the architect will probably likely recommend some period of time where the services will be moved to another location, and then and hopefully minimize. That's why it's important to have the architect plans as firm as possible, so they can come in here and bang out the job as quickly as possible, get you folks back in here in a site that you folks have assisted city officials with essentially designing from scratch.
Thank you, Jim. Does anyone have any questions for Attorney Lamanna? He explained that pretty good for everybody, I think.
I know,
I would
if I
agree.
could add something. We have met like 4 times, right, already, Diana?
Twice? Oh, I think I did twice, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, we've met a few times.
We had a meeting this morning as well prior, and we met with the mayor and the mayor's chief of staff, the architects, and we've met like 3 or 4 times already. So, it's ongoing, and there was a committee made. One of the seniors is involved as well. She's not here as well, but we got input from a lot of different people. So, I just wanted to add that.
I have a question. You mentioned that the seniors will be giving input to the architect. The person that you just identified that's on the team, how will we get are you going to have a suggestion box or something? When other seniors want to come up with things, will we go to you, Chris, with that? Or to that person?
You
that
can go to
identified?
me, that's fine.
Okay.
So, we also had the survey that we paid UMass Boston, and we had a survey that Pam gave me before for the input, and then, our input as well, and my input, Diana's as well, and the senior member as well. So there's quite a few people, but if anyone wants any more input, feel free to reach out to me as well.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
Will that garden be accessible by spring? Upstairs?
Well, they have the lease till May.
It really will, hopefully, that is the goal, that Element Care wants to move out. They want to go into a new home. I know you folks have been dying for a new home and you want this place upgraded. So everybody is shooting for that, to get them into their new location. But there are some things, the weather being one with construction, and I'm not going to even pretend to be anyone sophisticated enough to know anything about supply chains and the like, what is needed for the build out. So there are some things that are likely unknown even to Element Care right now, but that is absolutely the goal. We recognize that this year was a lost opportunity for that garden, and hopefully, even if there is delays, hopefully other arrangements can be made to open that up.
As long as the B&M's not gonna empty us, and MBTA is not gonna open a train station out back. Our train station is closing next week.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right, any other questions? No? All right, I'm gonna just move on then. Okay, we did how long, element care, what's the timeline, interior, increased space? Basically, we're waiting on the architects, we have met with them. Jim explained all that, we may have to be moving out, depending on the construction. Until till we actually know what's going on, would let you know, and the city would find us a place for, whether it's 2 months or 3 while construction is done. Plan for communication, begin outreach to seniors in housing in their home.
So, the newsletter will be a great form of outreach when it begins in November. And also, with the hiring of this kitchen coordinator, it frees the staff up for, we can really do, what we really need to do. So like Michelle is the outreach coordinator. We'll be going to all the senior housings, doing our presentations as well. I myself, I went to Ward 2 meeting last week. I'm trying to go to all the ward meetings, to promote our senior center, and telling people what programming and services we have to do as well. And currently, whenever we put flyers out, we send them to the senior housings. We email them as well, and we try to, remain in contact, as well as starting our route for our driver to pick people up at the senior housings or at home to come here as well. So those are our plans to increase the outreach.
Perfect. Any questions for Chris regarding that? All right, on to the next one. Upcoming activities, services for Lynn seniors, which Chris basically went over everything. I do have a question on that. When you do that monthly calendar, I'm not sure, is there any way to send it to
LC.
LCTV?
Yeah, I'll definitely save it. I'll
All
send it
right,
to David.
is that something you guys can post on just to keep, okay.
Absolutely.
All right, that would be great at least, because I do know a lot of the seniors, everybody basically, just see what activities are coming up in the city, so that's a good way of getting it out there also.
Yeah, I'll send it to the mayor's office as well.
Okay.
I usually send them stuff and they'll post it on the city website sometimes as well.
All right, perfect. Let's see, what do we have? Role of Council of Aging board members. What are our duties and roles? Okay, well,
I was thinking that, now that we're able to meet in person and things like that, it might be good if we had just a little training for the board members.
okay.
Just to say, what is it? Because we want a board that participates and helps Chris and the staff to do what they do to promote the senior center.
Like you guys did
Yeah.
previous, okay.
Yeah, and I think it would be good.
Nope, that's something we can do. We'll sit down with Chris, talk to him and see what everyone's can participate in, how they can help with the senior center, because most of this board is down the senior center anyway.
Yeah, maybe, our board meetings are not lasting that long, so maybe even at the end of a board meeting, we could have a training.
That'd be
Trainings are,
perfect.
right, we don't have to, because we're not gonna be taking votes or anything,
Right,
right?
right, yep.
Yep, nope, that sounds good to me. How does that sound good to everybody else?
Good.
Okay. Friends of the COA report, Joe Noble.
Okay, the first red shirt activity was held on July 1st at the cookout at the senior center. The 50-50 raffle raised $318, $159 to the winner and $159 to the friends. Although there have been no formal meetings, the friends have agreed to continue their traditional trick-or-treat giveaway at the senior center on Monday, October 31st, celebrating Halloween. In the past, regular monthly meetings of the Friends were held at 9:45 a.m. Since the only space at the present facility is able to accommodate our membership in the main common area, meetings would have to be scheduled at 4:30 after the center is closed. This is still in the discussion phase. Respectfully submitted, Joe Mino, Friends of the LCOA. And I would just like to add, as you can see, this room is not very large, and we have 15 members, 2 in motorized wheelchairs, some on canes, walkers. So a bigger conference room would be more suitable for us. In the meantime, because of the COVID, we did not collect dues for 2021. We did collect for 2022, that was the agreement of the membership, and we really need to have a place to gather before we can actually come forth with any upcoming plans. So everything is kind of on hold right now, and but the friends are here to help the senior center, and Chris knows that because we are in close communication. So that's my report.
Now, Joan, I know you were saying to meet after the senior center, but you can, after it closes, but the concern is it's gonna start getting dark out
That's
early.
right, and a lot of the seniors don't drive.
Don't drive at
Or-
night.
And they certainly don't come out at night.
Yep, and I understand this room, it's getting a little small, so we can talk after, we can find a place for you guys to meet if you wanna do a meeting this month or next
Right,
month. Well,
and I know you have offered the old time that, you know, when we can get together, we could meet there.
but we might be able to do something at City Hall also. We'll
Right.
get you somewhere, a room at City Hall you can meet in. So just, we'll update that and we'll see what's easier for you, okay?
Okay,
When is it gonna be your next meeting?
we haven't planned anything. We used to meet on a monthly basis, but that's not possible, and because we really don't have anything. Unfortunately, our big fundraiser was the pull-apart, which we always held before Thanksgiving, and that's not possible because, first of all, we don't have the people who could help out. We used a lot of the GLIS staff, the senior center staff. We're not even sure if the board is here, we're not sure of what's here that we need.
But most of the people from Yokora are here.
We're not sure if the easels that my husband made that were at the center, we would need those. There's a lot of planning that has to go into it, and unfortunately, we just don't have the manpower right now, and we're not even aware of what's here that belongs to the Friends.
Okay,
So I think everything is just on hold.
all right, let me see, I'll have Chris look into that. I'm sure you might have some boxes, or if Joan can give you
And
an
I do
itemized
understand
list.
that some of the things, because they were in the Army for so long, they had to be
Yeah.
thrown out.
Oh.
The biggest thing were the tablecloths that we invested in. I haven't seen them, so whether they're not usable.
Yeah.
But you see, we can make it one
We can
meeting.
definitely look into it, and as far as your meetings too, we can, if they wanna come in early, you know, technically we open at 9 AM. So I don't know if you want to have a meeting at 8 AM,
That might be,
yes, or we can look at some other space to accommodate as well.
okay.
Yeah, before Christmas, we can make it another meeting.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, next on the agenda is new and old business. So basically, Pam, is this your new and old business underneath? Are you just?
Yep, Chris
Okay.
answered phone line at the senior center. That's checked off.
Council of
And-
Aging Director status within City Hall, which I think you meant, is everybody down here now? Are they all in one spot? Because for a while there, Chris and the staff were here, then they were running to City Hall, they were running back. So Chris, give us an update, like, is your staff here now, or are you guys, I know you have to go over for meetings here and there, but can you give us an update on
Yeah.
your staff is in one spot now?
Predominantly, we're here 99% of the time. We go back for like small things, like we gotta drop off some paperwork or something, but
Or a council?
yeah, like comptrollers drop off something or anything like the donations and stuff. But
But
other
you're
than
here
that,
now?
yeah, we're here.
You have your computers up and working? you don't-
Computers, our phone lines are up, our fax machine will be put in today, so we're pretty much out here.
in, so now that we're an arm of the city, is it possible to have other city employees support the senior center staff, such as like the nurses? You know, something like that. I know that that was a big thing on our surveys, was to have a regular nurse down here during the week. That kind of stuff. Anything else? Oh, I know that this is not just the Council on Aging, but the website, you know, that is not very user-friendly. You would have to have 3 weeks on that Lynn website with your computer thing just to go find stuff and announcements. And I know that that was a promise of the mayor whenever he was running, that that was gonna get
The
better.
update.
So, I don't know, Jim, do you know if there's a plan or if they're looking at better user-friendly?
Absolutely. So the first round of APA money was submitted by the mayor and approved by the city council back in June or early July. I think it was June. And there was a significant allocation, I believe $100,000 for a consultant for an upgrade to all, to the city website. At our last department head meeting with Mayor Nicholson, he requested each department to begin thinking about what they would like to see on their link to make it user-friendly, because when the consultant is on board and there is an RFP, I think the RFP may be already out, and either the due date's come or it's gonna be coming up. That consultant's gonna be reaching out and speaking with every department and every board, and certainly speaking with Chris, and Chris will bring back to you folks, since we're starting basically from scratch, what do you want to see this website be able to do? I've been working with the Disability Commission, and I know there's for people that are visually impaired, it is almost useless, and there's much that can be done just on that side of things. But that was a campaign issue that Mayor Nicholson brought up, and he has come through with that by identifying APA money to make that happen sooner rather than later.
Great, great. One thing that I like on Boston's City of Boston website is one click and you can find out who your city councilor is. You know, well, you punch in your address and it tells you everything. Where even the state website, Secretary Galvin's doesn't do that. I think that's, but we can think of other stuff, I'm sure too.
Well, you know what, a lot of people don't know what ward they're in, so, no,
Yeah.
honestly, they don't.
Yeah, and then we changed them.
I know mine.
Well, I was just gonna say, now that we changed them, because I had to really figure out where my ward was now, because I'm like, I don't have
Yeah.
North Street anymore, and
Yes, and
It's a
so
difficult-
would we talk to Michelle about a nurse coming down here and a timeline?
We're trying to, we're exploring all avenues to try to get a nurse here. We know it's a need. We've had a couple incidents, and yeah, we're working with Michelle and Mike Donovan to see what we really can do.
yeah, it is a need, that is a big need right now to have a nurse down here. So, I agree 100%.
Those were the two things that have come up, that I have heard.
Yes. I had to step outside for a second, but I wanted to know, Chris, is that correct? He gave some pretty good information about activities. Where were those activities that you discussed with us, where are they listed? Is it part of the monthly calendar?
So those are for upcoming in October. So we made a monthly calendar already. We'll be posting it shortly.
Okay.
We'll post it on the Facebook, and we'll print out copies as well. And going forward, they'll be on the newsletter. On our newsletters, they start in November.
Okay, so right now, all the things you discussed are gonna be in the calendar that you're preparing?
Yes. Yeah, that's already prepared.
Will it be on the TV station where you have?
Yeah, I'll send it to them as well.
Will they be able to do a rolling event? Will it be rolling on there?
David, come up the side of the camera for
Yeah,
us.
I was gonna say, I'll step in front for a moment.
All right, David.
So, yes, so I'm actually the one that posts those, so I'm the best person to talk. So when I get these events in, it can be from the city, from a nonprofit. They send it to me, it goes up no problem. It goes on our website, which probably has the most events in the city, honestly. Like us in the city of Lynn calendar, I think they have the most. But essentially they'll send it in, I'll put it up there on the website. There is, throughout the day, between programming on TV, a bulletin board, so it's on there. And then it also gets posted on our social media as well. So we try to hit every avenue that we possibly can.
Have we been using that?
We've used them, yeah.
Yes.
Are we gonna continue to use them? In that
Yes, of
regard?
course.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, Chris, I'll talk with you again after.
I just know. And another question was, thanks David, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Other question was, I missed it, I apologize. The role of the CAP board members, what did you say concerning that?
That was me, Arthur.
What did you
I had
say?
suggested that we do a training for all the board officers
Okay,
so that we can all better understand our role and, you know, how to support the staff and also just to build out our reach into the community. So,
let's start.
All right, do we have any other questions, or does anybody need to add anything, Mary?
What's the story on our van? The van that we have here? Is it
It was,
operable?
yes, it is. So, yeah, it's operable. Unfortunately, so Victor, a lot of the times, you know, you see him.
I see him.
He's in the kitchen working hard. But yeah, he's great. He's a really hard worker. But it's there. It works. It had an issue. We got it fixed. Had a couple several issues. We also, through the ARPA funding, we got approved for a new van.
Yes, I remember you saying
Yeah,
that.
so we're waiting on that as well. But the van works, and yeah, if you need, we use it on trips sometimes. When we get too many people, then we hire an outside company. But we use it as much as we can.
And when
And
the,
I know-
and when,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead, I'll hold it, go ahead, Billy.
And when the Victor is gonna start with the regular job that he is, the chauffeur is not in the kitchen.
Yes, once we get the kitchen coordinator in, I really think the senior center will expand even more because a lot of us are in the kitchen doing work because, you know, the food is a lot of work. So when the kitchen coordinator comes on board, you know, a lot of people kind of be able to do more of what their job is per se, including Victor.
But they have to put in another person in the kitchen too.
One step at a time.
I have another question about the van. I know some seniors that I communicate with and they can't drive. Is there gonna be a process where you'll be able to pick them up and
Yes.
bring them here, and how is that gonna work?
So I reached out to Lynn Housing a couple months ago to gauge their interest. Not only Lynn Housing, all the senior housing and other seniors that don't live in senior housing. So we want to create a route to be able to pick up seniors and drop them off as well. So even right now, some seniors call in, we'll pick them up and bring them and drop them off after.
And what number are they calling? Are they gonna call that new number?
Yeah, they'll call the new
Do you
number.
know it, so I can write it down?
I can give it to you. I don't know what offhand.
Thank you, Jeff, thanks, that's all right. Thank you
I have a
very much.
quick question, Chris. So, when you start picking, doing the route with the van, how many people does that van hold?
It only holds like 9 people, so
So you'll
there's
be
gonna
doing
be
it-
several. Yeah.
That's
So
counting
you'll
driver.
probably coordinate, say we'll pick you up at 8:45, the next one might be 9:15?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like St. Stephen's, St. Mary's, right there. That'd be like one group. You know, if there's more people, then you'd have to go back and forth.
Just because winter's coming, the
Right.
sidewalks, I think you're gonna end up with more people getting a
Yes.
ride, especially in this cold weather.
And you will be picking up people whether they live in senior housing?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone here? We're here for you guys. Whatever services we can provide, and anything we can do, you know, we try to help as much as we can.
You're doing a wonderful job.
Mary, here's the number, 781
Oh, okay, thank you, yeah,
586
uh-huh,
6879.
thank you.
Does
Yes.
anybody have any other questions?
Say it again, Smitty?
Go on, what was that on me? I got here,
781-586-6879.
879. And it's also on on the Facebook page too.
Yeah, but the person I'm talking about isn't on Facebook.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Anybody have any other questions for today?
I was just wondering, Chris, how many volunteers through the abatement program, the tax through City Hall, come down?
On a day-to-day basis,
Yeah, or how, so this is, I guess what is the process? If somebody wanted to do that, I know that under the city guidelines, I believe that they have to apply by like April or something like that. You know, that they're, hey, I'm gonna be a volunteer for this year. Now, let's say if I specifically know people that wanna work at the senior center, whether it's lunchtime or whatever, would they still just go through Chris Gator's office? Or?
yeah, they go through the assessors and then he places them. But he's very flexible. He's a really nice guy, and if they're like, oh, I want to work in the senior center, they'll send them here. And they come here, we can help them do it as well. Either way.
Okay, so if we know somebody's a volunteer and they've already, you know, they met their deadline to volunteer by April, submit their things, they can either call Chris Gator's office or call the
they can
number
just come
that
here.
we just mentioned. And
Yes.
say, hey, I wanna put in some hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've had 4 seniors finish their hours already. Some of them have stayed on board. Like Joan's been a great help, and my understanding is that you can donate your hours to someone else as well. So, yeah.
There's a misconception because Kay called Chris Gator and he told her, and she sent it in an email, Pam got it too, I believe, that you can't transfer your hours because I have already fulfilled my 105 or 8, whatever it is, and I'm still coming, and I'm willing to whatever hours I can give to somebody else who maybe doesn't have enough hours or maybe can't come. I would be more than willing, but according to Chris Gator, we can't do that.
Sorry, I misspoke.
So what's the rule then? Cause you said you could have somebody else work for you.
Well, in fact, I think I have it with me.
I can reach out to Chris.
Yeah,
And
there
get
is
some
a
more clarity.
misconception, I think that because we had heard, Pam and I had heard at a different time, that if we had hours that we didn't need, we could contribute them to someone else. And according to Chris, there's some stipulation about that, so I think.
Well, I know that, one example was used with that someone has a mother-in-law that's in her 90s and still in her own home. And the person said, you know, I would like to work and donate my hours to her so that she would get a discount. Yeah.
I think as well, you know, there's like different, everyone like falls under something different, or they can
This is a blank statement, you can read it.
Yeah, so there are no transferring hours to other participants. So what I'm thinking, we will ask Chris to clarify, but I believe the question we asked him is a little bit different because this is someone who's working for someone who cannot do it. If you're in the program.
No, that was not it. One of the volunteers who came on late and is afraid that she is not gonna have enough time before the deadline because it ends October or November, whatever. So we were willing to give our extra hours because we're still gonna continue to come and volunteer whatever we can. And that,
But you're both participants in the program.
yeah, right.
Where my friend can't be in it because she don't qualify for financially, but the mother does.
Okay.
I mean,
But we can get
Yeah.
clarification from Chris.
Chris.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Mary?
I have another question. So what you're saying, if you want to volunteer down here, you have to contact Chris Gator?
well, that's different. The assessment's
That's
a
for the
little different.
abatement.
Okay, that's on the abatement. So
Yeah.
my next question is, if someone's not gonna be on the abatement, who would they contact?
If you just want to volunteer, you contact me,
Thank you.
and then you just fill out a little thing that they run your
Okay.
query, and then that's it.
Okay, good. Thank you. Very
Yeah,
good.
because in the other center, when the people came to be a volunteer, they give it 1 day or 2 days the training. After that time, is when the people start doing the volunteer. So they training, they can, if somebody fell down, the people can touch, they have to call you and the other people from the direction. And we can make it a space with the other people, because I take it out I don't know how many times, and I was volunteer for 9 years. So it's too many things for to become volunteer, and more than this center now is belong to the city hall. They have to be more stricter in that one. They have to explain to the people that are volunteer, they don't touch if somebody fell down on anything, all of those things together.
So so that when someone wants to volunteer, they fill out an application, we send it over to HR, and then when the volunteers come in, they're kind of vetted. We see what they can do, what are their ability, what are their restrictions. So we don't want people, overexerting themselves as well. So, we kind of vet to see what they would fit best, what they want to do as well. So that's how we go about that.
Yeah, because one time, one person passed away in the bathroom.
What?
Yeah, in the other center, yeah. Nobody know, just only the volunteer that was inside there to look, and when the fire people and the police take it out, they put in something that they can, people don't think it is die. But it was died in the bathroom. So
All right,
that's
anything
what,
else
all of
for
those things they
today?
have to, to talking and all the volunteers, to have a meeting with all of them and tell what are they supposed to do and what is that they can do.
So that's a good idea for Chris to
Well,
do
yeah.
that for his volunteers, which I think
That's
he does anyway.
that's what's done every morning. They meet. If the volunteers are in the kitchen, they meet every morning so we can, because we don't know sometimes who is coming in or who's not, because it's a volunteer. It's not your real job. So depending on who we have every day, they meet in the kitchen, and they kind of, the workload is dispersed, and they go from there. But there is also weekly meetings with all the volunteers to see, what can we do better? What do you want to do next week? Do you still want to do this or whatnot? But yeah, we really appreciate all the volunteers as well.
Oversee.
I guess 11 o'clock meeting back at City Hall.
Now for the bus on the 3rd, will it be the kind of bus that can put
Yeah.
with the lift? and
Yeah,
everything?
we'll be taking our bus as well, and we're gonna have to get an outside source for a bus. So our bus has a handicap ramp.
Anybody have any?
When you have the meeting, I can help you and explain to you all of those things that they have before with the volunteer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Betty. Do we have anything else on the agenda for today? Any other questions? All right, what's the wish of the committee?
Motion to adjourn?
Can we have a second on that?
Second.
I second.
All right.
Next month.